my last video regarding 22, I said that we're going to be talking about the limitations and the accuracy issues that you may have with the 22. The 22 by no means is perfect. However, it is a workhorse, and that's that workhorse, as the word imply. Sometimes it's not pretty, sometimes it's stubborn, sometimes it has limitations, but it's always there. It's always reliable. So let's talk about the limits of the 22 in accuracy, because let's face it, it is not as accurate as a 5.56. It is not as accurate as a 308. It is definitely not the most accurate round out there, especially past 150 yards. So for short range, the 22 inside that 50 yard, a 22 is laser sharp. I have never had an issue within 50 yards. Never had an issue. In fact, behind me, you have now a Savage Model 42 takedown. That is in 22 and in 410. And 50 yards is dead on. Like dead on. Past that. Now is when you're starting to get a little bit of issue. And that is in any 22. So 50 yards, you golden. A lot of my 22s, my 1022s are literally zero at 50 yards. Zero. I mean, at 50 yards, I have literally come to the point of hitting the same hole. That's how good they are. When you use it for small game, perfect, not a problem. Mid-size, anything about 60 pounds, remember, shot placement. I leave it up to you. Do with that what you will. But it's perfect for small game, for varmints. It holds a really tight group. Any half decent rifle will put rounds exactly what you want within 50 yards, stretching out to 100 yards. They're starting to get a little tricky. A 22 is a small round. The ammunition now, once you extend to 100 yards, matters. Cheap bulk ammo, you're gonna have wider groups. It's not gonna. Here's the thing: before you start typing, it will reach 100 yards, no problem. It will reach 100 yards. But the groups, instead of having a tight group, you're now gonna have a, wider group. To be expected. Literally is to be expected. You get better ammo, your group is gonna be smaller, but stretching it to 100 yards, now you pushing that 22. So, is it effective for a small game? It is very effective for a small game. Center mass. And that's it, you're good. If you have a better scope and you know your rifle and you have good ammo, I've seen people take the heads off of birds at 100 yards. 150 yards. Here's where you start seeing the limits of a 22. The bullet will drop. Wind can become a significant issue. And the problem with that the 150 yards is the energy drops to a point that it may not be as lethal as you want it, especially when it comes to something a little bit bigger than small game. Keep that in mind. you have to consider that terminal performance. Accuracy is just not hitting the target. It's about what happened when you do. You see what I'm saying? Rabbits and squirrels are 150 yards. I don't think you will have a problem. Bigger animals or defense beyond 100 yards. Caution. Now, remember, if you look at the warnings on any 22, if you start reading all of this, it says to be careful, and I'm going off memory now, because it can go up to 1.5 miles. That's a long way. I mean, probably going to be pointing almost 45 degrees and by the time that it hits, but you get what I'm saying. So it's not that it's not going to reach. It's just accuracy is going to be diminished significantly past 150. 150, it will be a real challenge. 50, you're good. Within 50 yards, you're perfect. You're golden. 100, you need to know your rifle and you need to practice. 150, there's such a thing as a, what is that term used? I can't remember the term right now. Ethical hunting. Again, I leave it up to you. So the point here is that you need to know the role of the 22. It is a workhorse. You will use it more often than none. In fact, I will say that at 22, you will use it more than your AR, more than your, more than your shotgun. You will use a 22 more than anything else. Reason why, if you go to any prepper, for every AR that they have, I guarantee you at a minimum, they will have two 22s. At a minimum. And now you wonder why. Why is that? Because the 22 is so versatile. It is. However, it does also have limitations, and you need to know. For example, for pistols or revolvers, stay within that 15 to 20 yards and you will be okay. That is what I have done, and I feel comfortable. Now you do you. Everybody's different, and of course I'm gonna get a comment like, this guy can take a shot of 800 yards with a 22. I don't. And since I only speak from personal experience, then I guess I'm limited to that and not what somebody else is doing. So the 22 definitely is a tool that everyone should have in their arsenal. It is a extremely versatile tool. It is a tool, not a miracle round. It's not going to do everything. It's for trainings. Will blow everything out of the park. I mean, especially for prizes. For small game, it's one of my favorites. I use it all the time. It is quiet. I mean, if you put a shisher in it, it is even more. Your neighbor will not even know what you're doing. It will definitely put a lot of meat on the table. A lot. But don't expect it to be that replacement for your 5.56, for your 308, for your 12 gauge. No. It's just a different tool for a different job. And I think that's where people get a bit confused. It is a great tool, but it's not a do-it-all tool. It is a tool that it has a lot of benefits, but you also need to know the drawbacks. So, again, to summarize everything, it is deadly accurate within 50 yards. Deadly accurate. With a half decent rifle, you will be really good. capable at 100 yards, 150, you pushing it. So the 22 is not about power or long range. It's about precision, efficiency, and survival when every round counts. That being said, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Like always, rock on, rip on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the links in the pinned comment below. Consider joining our Frontier Prepper Squad or let an adult to you run. It really does make a difference. And always remember, those who prepare today will not struggle tomorrow.